Hello everyone, I am Trupti Bhavsar. Hope you all are fine and safe. Children, today we are going to study key elements of a democratic government. Now students, already in the third chapter we had studied about what is a government and we had studied about a democracy. You know students, democracy means to the people, for the people and by the people. Means the government which is for the people, it is made by the people and it will work for the people only. In this chapter, we will try to understand how the various elements influence the democratic government. Now, in this chapter, it begins with the story of South Africa. The chapter begins with the story of South Africa and there are some examples are given which was earlier governed by apartheid laws. Apartheid laws mean students separation on the basis of race. That we will discuss further in the lesson. Now students, South Africa is a country that has people of several races. Races means they were separated on the basis of their color. There were black people who belonged to South Africa, whites who came there to settle, and Indians who came as laborers and traders. Now, there is a story about a girl. She has a narration with her mother that we will study. Maya Naidu, an 11-year-old South African girl living in the town of Johannesburg, was helping her mother clear up her old boxes. Means she was helping her mother in clearing of the boxes, and at that time she got a box. She found a scrapbook full of pictures and newspaper articles, and there was a scrapbook which is full of the pictures. There were so many different pictures are there in that scrapbook, and news articles were there. There were many pictures of a young schoolboy of around 15 years of age. When she asked her mother who the boy was, she was told that he was called Hector Peterson. He had been shot by the police. Maya was shocked. Why? She asked. Then her mother explained that South Africa was earlier governed by apartheid law. Apartheid means separation on the basis of race, means on the basis of colors. South African people were divided into white, black, Indian, and colored races. According to the law, these races were not allowed to mingle with each other. Mingle means to communicate or to be in touch with each other, or to be travel or wandered with each other, to live near each other or even to use common facilities. Now Maya could not believe her ears. She asked her mother that why these things. Maya mother sounded angry when she spoke about life under apartheid. She told Maya that in those days, in those days, hospitals were separated and so were ambulance also. And ambulance meant for white people would always be well equipped, while one meant for the black people was not. Means the luxurious facilities were given to the white people and the black people they were suffering. There were separate trains and buses. Even the bus stops were different for black and white people. Now students, we can understand that at that time also in South Africa, there were the color difference was there among the people. Like in many countries we see that religious differences are there. They are separated by the religious caste that way. So that time also in the South Africa also this color separation was there. Now at that time no whites were allowed to vote. They had to live on the worst ways. Means the best land in the country was reserved for the white people and non-whites had to live on the worst available land. Thus, blacks and colored people were not considered to be equal to white people. Only one township was the southwestern township was there. It was known as Soweto. So that township, it was one of the township meant for the blacks only, means the black people, they were living in this Soweto. Hector Peterson lived here and he and his classmates joined the protest against learning the Afrikaans language in school. At that time, in the schools, they were teaching the Afrikaans language, and that language was spoken by the white people. So, Hector and other school students were being forced to learn this language, but they want to learn their own language, that was the Zulu. Actually, Zulu language was the African language of their native people of Africa. But that people were forced to speak the Afrikaans language in the school. The South African police beat up the protesters mercilessly and shot at the crowd. One of their bullets killed Hector. This was on 16th June 1976. At that time, Hector was died. Hector Peterson, he was fighting for his rights, for the rights of the African people. But they were protest was mercilessly shooting was done by the police people on them, and in that incident Hector lost his life. Now students, after this incident, the African National Congress, it was a group of people who led the struggle against apartheid, and their most well-known leader, Nelson Mandela, fought the apartheid system for several years, and near about 20 to 27 years he was also imprisoned because he was also fighting against the police and fighting for their rights. And finally, in 1994, South Africa became a democratic country where people of all races were considered equal, and then after they had got their rights of equality. So Nelson Mandela was a well-known leader of ANC. I hope students you are getting it and you had understood up to this much.